So I want to share with you why I stopped trying to repair my family relationships. For years, I kind of saw it as my role to rescue the family. And I always felt like I was failing on some level. I failed to save the family. And I felt all sorts of things, grief and fear, and sadness and shame and guilt. But at some point I realized I was just going around the hamster wheel with them, and nothing was really changing. And not that there's anything wrong with them at all, that they need to change, or that I'm somehow better than them. And also, they haven't done much inner work, and I have. And I got tired of doing all the emotional adjusting, or most of it, I would say, 70, 80% to try to meet them. And there was just a lack of understanding and common ground, that it just became this heavy weight that I was carrying to force myself to interact. And so at some point I just let it go, and I let them go. And some of it is facing, in a sense, death, that something that an old version of me is dying or gone. A fantasy I had, a dream I had is gone. And I face death that I know my parents are getting older, and I don't know how much time they have. None of us know how much time we have, and so there's going to become to a point where I never see them again. And now some people might say, "Hey, well, wait a minute. That's not right. You should see your parents because of that, because of the fact that they're not going to be around for much longer. You have so little time. You want to cherish this time. You'll regret it." And they took care of you, right? They raised you. It's your duty to take care of them. And so just, I don't know, grin and bear it. Deal with your own private pain. Everybody suffers. And these are all valid points. There's some truth to all of that. It's a choice, really. The issue I have with that is that in doing that, you're tolerating relationships. And underneath tolerance is resentment. It always breeds resentment. And doing things out of obligation or duty, just to tolerate people, is, to me, inauthentic. And I don't think it actually serves people. I think they get so much more when you're authentic, when you're real. That serves the highest purpose, their soul. And I don't mean authentic like spewing your poison onto them. No, I'm not saying that. But following your heart, which only you know is right. Nobody else knows what's right for you. A path that somebody else took maybe worked for them, but it may not be right for you in this point in time, in 2024. And actually, I feel more connected to my family than I did when I was communicating with them on a more regular basis. Why? Because I'm more connected with myself. I'm giving myself space. So it frees me up because I'm not tolerating them. I don't have so much resentment. I can actually feel love towards them, and send that out. And I think on some level, that's doing something. We're all connected. And who knows, by staying true to myself, I give them the opportunity to go through some sort of healing. And then maybe they'll meet me halfway. But the difference is I don't have that expectation. I don't have that demand. So this is really the work of detaching, of letting go of expectation, of any sort of demand or need for their approval. This is allowing them to dislike you. And it takes courage. It's not easy, and it can be a lonely process. But you find yourself because you're not avoiding yourself. And there may come a point when you decide, and it's only you who can decide this, it feels right for you to re-engage with your chosen level of contact and intimacy and sharing and commitment. And the challenge there would be to stay as yourself while being in connection to them. And it can be freaking challenging because they may insist, where you want to be friends, adult friends, they may insist on holding on to some old, outdated parent-child dynamic. And it can draw you in. Until you get detached enough, you can get pulled back in to that old pattern. Where because through their projection, you find yourself regressing and becoming more immature, becoming more childlike. And it's frustrating, to say the least. But it's actually, it's mature to not try to go and fix these relationships. And to instead to go within and heal yourself. And then you really become a gift to your family when you are that detached emotionally. You don't get pulled back into those, sucked into those dynamics of codependency and enmeshment. The family dysfunctional stew, you're not part of that anymore. Then they can see, oh, I can get free too. They probably don't want to be in it as well. They just don't have a better way or know a better way yet. So you serve as a source of light for them and for others. So this work is really healing attachment wounds from a wounded inner child. Meeting that with love and compassion. And knowing that there's no safety or security or anything that you're going to find on the outside that will take care of that. Any sort of distraction, any idealized relationship. But it's going in and facing that attachment and the fear that's underneath there. The fear of abandonment. the fear of being rejected or made irrelevant. It's all goes back to the fear of death. So facing death, contemplating it, seeing that everything is temporary, these relationships are temporary, we're always coming and going, and we'll have to say goodbye one day. And from that place, deep peace arises, and you can love more fully. You are free to be in the present moment, not obsessing about a hurtful past or worried about the future. And then instead about your family making you happy, it becomes about, man, I need them to be happy. I need them to be free. I want them to be free. It's not my job or responsibility, but I really desire that for them. I wish them that. And it's okay if it doesn't happen. They're on their own unique journey. Because chasing parental approval is not love. I try to remember that on a regular basis. That's again just this attachment that needs healing. I hope this all made sense. This is not easy work to do, so it's good to have someone you're working with, a therapist, a coach, a 12-step group. I do offer one-on-one coaching. I'm going to leave a link below where you can schedule a free consultation if these concepts resonate with you and you want someone to talk it out with. I'll leave that link below. I hope you have an amazing day. Like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love hearing from you, your experiences, and your feedback. So, peace, namaste, much love.